Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court Civil Docket for October 9th, 2024. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all directives regarding remote proceedings. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube. Mr. Nunez, would you call our first case, please?
Yes, ma'am. Calling cause number 2022 DCV 2618, Tawana Danielle Pons versus Landstar Hotels et al. Announcements, please.
Manny Morgan on behalf of Ms. Pons, the plaintiff.
Gabriel Canto for the defendant, Aluminum and Window Solutions Incorporated.
All right. We're at final status conference. Is that right? Final status?
Your Honor,
Monday.
we settled the case. I believe we just need to send you the order to sign. But that will do with all the parties in this case, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's correct.
Turnaround time, can we do it in 30 days?
Yes, Your Honor. Before then, we could get it done this week.
Okay, well, we have that 11-6 setting, so we'll just leave settings as is. I'll notate that it has settled. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, you are excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Page 1, Judge.
Uh-huh.
Calling cause number 2021 DCV 2041, Lisette Vasquez versus current Judge Exhibit 1, Sandra Zamora.
Morning, Your Honor. Jeffrey Borshoff for the plaintiff.
Morning.
Cliff Jessup here for Mr. Vega for Zamora.
And Judge, if it pleases the court, I'll explain what Mr. Jessup is saying. I was telling him before you arrived on the bench. This is a case where there were multiple defendants. Sandra Zamora is one of them. When we first filed this lawsuit and named her as a defendant, we were trying to find her, to locate her, to serve her with process. We ended up serving a different Sandra Zamora, who Mr. Vega filed an answer for. We subsequently non-suited that person, but the correct Sandra Zamora remains, and that is the only defendant that still remains in this lawsuit, as the other defendants have either been non-suited or dismissed. And because the claims remain against that Sandra Zamora, we have filed a motion for default judgment against her because she has been served and has never filed an answer.
Okay. And I am seeing, I do recall the Sandra Zamora mix-up. For my purposes, then I guess, Mr. Jessup, you're good to go. But I have a motion for default judgment filed yesterday. And there's a notation that we would hear it today. That's not going to happen because it was just filed yesterday. So let's put a default hearing date about 30 days out so we can get, do we have any information on this, Ms. Zamora, the correct Ms. Zamora?
No, Your Honor. I mean, a little bit of background may be helpful here. This was a terrible, terrible case. My client was pumping gas at a gas station and her vehicle was struck by Ms. Zamora, who was cutting through the gas station, and my client lost her leg. There were other claims against other defendants. Those claims have been resolved, and Ms. Zamora is uninsured and has evaded everybody at every step of the way, including at her deposition, which she was noticed for. And so we did serve her with process, and it's been some time, a couple years, in fact. But she's never filed an answer, and I had to have a discussion with my client of whether she wanted to just dismiss the claims against Ms. Zamora or proceed with a default judgment. She instructed me to proceed with a default judgment, but we will certainly attempt to send her notice of the motion and any hearing, but she is quite difficult to find, as has been proven out through the pendency of this case.
Okay, so you're requesting a hearing then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll put it about 30 days out. We'll go from there if you'll send notice. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Your Honor. And Cliff, thank you. Your Honor, am I excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Jessup. Unless you guys have anything else, you're excused.
I have another one, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Who's next, Mr. Nunez?
Page 3, Judge. Top of the page, calling cause number 2023 DCV 4392, Israel Cabrera versus Victor Cruz Esparza. Announcements, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Oscar Mendes on behalf of the plaintiff. Good
Morning.
morning, Your Honor. This is Sebastián Uribe on behalf of defendant Cruz Esparza.
So we're just at a scheduling status conference. Are you all ready for a trial date? Or a
Uh,
track?
I would like to get it moving, Your Honor. We're still waiting on some discovery from the defendant. They've gotten several extensions from us. But yeah, I'd like to get it moving. I'm ready for a trial date if the court would indulge us.
Sure. Let me see. We got you down for scheduling in October, but when was this actually filed? This was filed in December of 2023, answered in February. So I'll give you what's the next available trial week? Myrna, are you here? Yes. I mean regular, like in 2025, I'm thinking spring or summer.
Judge, September 19th and October 3rd.
Well, there you go. September 19th. Okay.
Okay.
That's on track with a year out. I was hoping we could get something sooner, but we'll get you the scheduling order, select your agreed to mediator, include it on the scheduling order and return it. Anything outside of those settings that you require a hearing, please send your filed motion to Ms. Hernandez and we'll get you set. Okay?
Judge,
Monday.
excuse me, I'm sorry. I missed July 18th is also a civil week.
Okay, let's do that one. July 18th, unless anybody has a real problem being in a hot courtroom in July.
That works for us, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll use that date instead. Thank you, Myrna.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. If you don't have anything else, y'all are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Okay, Mr. Nanez, who's next?
Page 3, Judge.
Uh-huh.
Calling cause number 2022 DCV 0441 Joel Sainz Flores versus Mario Hector Hernandez Jr. et al. Announcements, please.
Jeff McElroy on behalf of the plaintiff, Joel Sainz Flores.
Jonathan Kavanaugh on behalf of defendant Hernandez.
And Cliff Jessup for defendant Progressive, Judge.
And we're here in a final status conference. Who has a status update?
Well, Your Honor, we have not been able to obtain the deposition of the defendant, Mr. Hernandez. We noticed him for March 5th, and it was for in person. When the deposition started, he attempted to appear via Zoom. I had a number of exhibits and videos that I was going to show him, which I had edited down from the body cam footage of the accident. So by agreement, I went ahead and took a certificate of non-appearance. Mr. Kavanaugh said that he would get back with us and provide dates that he could produce his client in person. So on May 21st, we sent an email to request availability. There was no response. Again, on May 30th, we sent an email requesting availability with no response. On July 9th, we sent a follow-up email requesting availability with no response. On August 14th, we sent a follow-up email requesting no response. And then on September 23rd and the 25th, we attempted to get dates again because we were approaching trial. We basically requested at the rate of about once a month over the past 6 months. And finally, on October 1st, we just sent a notice, which the defendant has moved to quash at this point. The deposition is scheduled for tomorrow. I realize it's unrealistic to think that with his filing a motion to quash that we could have the deposition tomorrow. But I got an email this morning stating that there are dates that are available. And really until we firm it up, I guess what I'm saying is I don't want the quash to be entered until we have a date certain that his client will be available for deposition. I do want to keep this trial date. We have a number of other depositions we need, including the sheriff's department who was out there with body cam footage. There's one 911 caller who describes the vehicles and what they were doing at the time of the accident. And we do need to take their deposition, although I also plan on subpoenaing them for trial. And so, Your Honor, I would like to just let the court know we are having trouble getting things scheduled. I want to keep the trial date. And if Jonathan can agree that we can get all the discovery done, then I think we'll be okay. We may have to, kind of tweak some supplementation dates and things of that nature. But that's the status that, from my perspective.
So what are the dates that are proposed?
Let me look at the email that I got this morning.
They were largely in November. I don't mean to talk out of turn, but I figure I'd add some in there.
Unfortunately, that email is buried in a thread, and I'm trying to dig it up now, trying to actually dig up the one with the dates. Do you have that, Jonathan?
So November is after a mediation deadline. I mean, I don't know
Correct.
if it's mediated, but
You're correct.
like
Now,
no, it seems like we've been spinning our wheels since March trying to get a deposition. I'm trying to understand why we're not getting any responses, Mr. Kavanaugh, from May until October for 5 months.
correct. And in full disclosure, the court has my apologies for trying to talk out of turn. Long and short of it is, I've had a lot of client contact difficulties. I've shared this with the other parties in the case. I've had some staffing turnover here, and then there's been some staffing turnover at the insurance carrier. I've provided some dates. Those dates are October 30th, November 4th, 5th, 28th, and 29th. I'm trying to work with everybody as best I can while I work on my own independent informal negotiations on the case. I've just had some difficulties with client contact. I've got some reservation of rights issues that I'm trying to field without causing coverage issues. And in just full disclosure, I've had some trouble of my own, and I'm doing my best to work through them. I'm trying to propose some dates to at least get them on there. I'm prepared to independently move for a continuance and ask for it because I am the majority of the delay. But the stuff that I need to complete my task I've received as of this week, I just have to get it done. So unfortunately, I'm not trying to provide excuse, just a little bit of explanation on why I'm very slow to draw right now.
What about that October 30th date, Mr. McElroy?
I can do it, Your Honor. I would like either, before we leave the hearing, to have a commitment that the defendant will be produced on that date in person in El Paso before I agree to release the notice of deposition for tomorrow.
And respectfully, my understanding is when a quash is filed, it's automatic. So there's that as well. I am trying to field that replacement date. The 30th is something that I will make myself available. I will need to get a flight into El Paso, and we're currently working to get a hold of the client right now as I'm sitting on here to verify that that date's going to work for him. I would say if he doesn't show up or is unavailable, I would say take a CNA, but I'm going to do my best to see if I can prevent us from having to go down that road. But that's why I also pitch November dates, just to give me a little leeway, because I do have to travel from Houston up there to make it happen since it's going to be in person.
Mr. Jessup, do you have anything to add?
No, Judge. My claims have been, or plaintiff's claims against Progressive have been severed, so we're waiting for that case to be resolved before we try to resolve ours. So I'm just waiting. We're watching, Judge.
And Your Honor, in all due respect to Mr. Jessup, we did sever him out. We agreed to try him separately. Mr. Kavanaugh just mentioned something that I'm a little remiss to discuss because I know it puts him in a conflict position to talk about the reservation of rights letter. But should that coverage disappear because of the defendant's non-cooperation, I certainly want to assure Mr. Jessup I don't expect him to be ready or go to trial on December 13th. And I know he's here participating today, but I do think our agreement and our severance said that we would try his case on the uninsured motorist coverage at a later date.
Okay.
Right, Judge.
All right. So with respect to, I mean, here's where I am with the Mr. Hernandez's deposition. The court is going to order that take place on October 30th. If you can discuss today a time that's mutually agreeable and location, then Mr. McElroy, send me an order.
I will do so, Your Honor.
If you can get it to me to the day, great. And then we'll see where we are. You know, if we still have issues, so be it. But that at least puts us before the final civil pretrial. So Mr. McElroy, if you can get that to me as soon as possible.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else we need to discuss today?
No, I appreciate everybody's time and their patience while I field this, and my apologies that you're having to field this.
That's fine. If there's nothing else, then we'll see you on November 6th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you all.
Take care,
Thank you
gentlemen.
for the time.
Bye.
I'll call you later this afternoon, Jeff. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jonathan. Okay.
Okay, who's next?
Judge, page 3, calling cause number 2024 DCV 0465, Lorenzo Rodriguez versus Marisela Flores et al. Announcements, please.
Yeah, this is Victor Biganowski for the plaintiff, Your Honor. Your Honor, we real quickly, this case settled against the driver of the vehicle, the defendant. They were non-suited. That left the owner, which we just sent a motion and an order and the non-suit them also. And that's all there is on this case, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Hernandez, do we have that one on 0276 Armendariz de Parra?
Checking my email, Judge, give me a second.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. The
Thank
court
you.
has received that.
Thank you, Myrna. Thank you, Mr. Biganowski. I'll get to that paperwork here shortly.
Okay. I have one more, Your Honor. I'll wait.
Mr. Nanez, who's next?
Page 3, Judge, calling cause number 2023 DCV 4215 Supply Network Inc. et al. Versus EP Integrated Fire Systems and Concepts LLC et al. Announcements, please.
Your Honor, Colt Tucker for the plaintiff, SupplyNet.
All right. Anyone here? Is anyone in the waiting room, Mr. Nanez?
No, ma'am.
Okay. We're set for default, but I'll ask. Anyone here on behalf of defendants? All right. Mr. Tucker, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This was a breach and a lien claim case. We have since worked out a settlement and non-suited out the ownership entities, the both Castellano entities, which just left the original contract debtor, EPI, and their two guarantors, individual guarantors that were served back in March. They never answered. We've been in communication. They've been making payments, which is why the judgment amount is so much lower than the original pleading amount. But I've tried to get them to file in. They don't want to. They keep paying. So with the DWAP coming up, we had to file the default just to get the judgment on this one.
Okay, the only concern I have, okay, wait, let me see what Mr. Hernandez, is there a companion case? Is that right?
No, it's the same case, Judge, but it's also set for scheduling.
Got it. Mr. Tucker, here's the only thing I'm looking at here is kind of the timing. This was filed, it looks like just on October 1st. So we're in, just over a week of when we got the hearing date. Normally, I'm going to put it out about 30 days from the date of filing so we can get some type of notice and notice of hearing sent out. So I am going to reset the default for about 30 days. So we'll do it November 6th at 10 a.m. Yeah, just send out notice if you would, please, to whatever you have for EP integrated, and we'll go from there.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much for your time. All right, who's next?
Judge, page 4, calling cause number 2024 DCV. I'm sorry, hold on a second, Judge. I think I might be calling the wrong one here. Page 4. So calling cause number 2024 DCV 0108 Celia Franco Lopez versus Maria de Jesus Lopez et al. Announcements, please.
Your Honor, Mark Davis for the plaintiff, Cecilia Lopez. Judge, what's going on in this case? I represent Ms. Lopez, an elderly woman who had her house stolen by a forged deed. She's been evicted. The defendants have all answered pro se, and I just need a bench trial quickly.
Okay, is there anyone here on behalf of, you said they're pro se. Is there Maria de Jesus Lopez or Yvonne Velasquez? Have we received any contacts from them? Looks like they answered back when. Wow. Okay. Let me see.
I expect it to be a default, Judge.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to rely on you, Myrna, to see when we can squeeze in a bench trial. Unless, Mr. Davis, I gotta assume you want this kind of sooner than later. Maybe we can refer it to either Judge Burrill or Judge Alcala for scheduling.
Well, that'd be great. Anything to speed it up so I can get my client back in her home.
Myrna, let's go ahead and refer this to Judge Burrill with a notation to the coordinator for the referral court that it needs to be scheduled for a bench trial ASAP.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Davis, if you would please, if you haven't heard from the referral court on scheduling, I would say probably in the next week or two, please will you follow up with us and we can help double check to see that things are moving along.
Judge,
Very appreciated.
Monday.
Judge Burrill is out for 3 months. Judge.
Oh, so it's going to Judge Alcala.
Okay.
Okay, all right. And if we have another issue there, we'll see what else we can do. All
Thanks
right.
so much.
All right.
Appreciate it,
Thank you.
Judge.
Who's next?
Sorry, Judge. Page 4.
Mhm.
Calling cause number 2023 DCV 4494 Alberto Olvera et al. Versus Oscar Garcia et al. Announcements, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brittany Lopez on behalf of the plaintiffs.
Morning.
Good morning, Judge, for defendants Omar Cisneros.
Scheduling status conference. Well, I'll ask you for an update unless you just want a trial and we'll put it in July and get you your scheduling order.
I think that would be fine, Your Honor. We're actually in the process of trying to get it resolved, so I think the trial date in July would give us plenty of time to get that done.
Okay, we'll send you the form, agree to a mediator, send it back to us. You don't have to come to the entry hearing, and anything outside of those dates, just request your hearing with your file pleading, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Right. And Ms. Lopez, real quick, I just got a message from my adjuster. If you'd like to set up an early mediation, we're open to that. If you think that would help get this done early too, we're open to it.
Okay, I'll give you a call in a couple of minutes, Mr. Cisneros. Are you available?
Perfect. Yes, I am.
All right.
Well, you all are just super pleasant.
I wish they were all like this, right?
Yeah, right? I'll take these all day. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Page 5, Judge, top of the page. Calling cause number 2024 DCV 0276 Graciela Armendariz de Parra versus Tristan Cantrell. Announcements, please.
Yeah, for plaintiff Victor Biganowski.
And for defendant Rogelio Morales.
Okay, scheduling status conference.
Yes, Your Honor. This paper discovery's all done. Just need to set depositions. If we could just get a trial date, that would be good, Your Honor. I think we can resolve it after the depots.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure I heard what you said, Mr. Morales, but unless you're objecting to a July trial date, that's what I'm going to give you all. And get you.
I'm in agreement with Mr. Biganowski.
Yeah, it's cutting up quite a bit. All I heard was I'm in agreement with Mr. Biganowski. So we'll get you the scheduling order, pick your mediator, stick it on the scheduling order with all the appropriate dates, and we'll see you at the next hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Take care.
Have a good day.
You too. Who's next?
Page 5, Judge, bottom of the page. Calling cause number 2024 DCV 0695 Wells Fargo Bank NA versus Cristina Garza. Announcements, please.
Carl Smart here on behalf of Wells Fargo.
All right, status conference. Anyone here on behalf of Cristina Garza? No.
I don't believe she's been served yet, Your Honor, so I seriously doubt it.
Oh, I'm seeing a motion to retain. Another one? Is this the same? No, it's a different case. So what attempts have you made at service?
Well, we've made several attempts to our normal process server, and then we've started the process for a skip trace because we don't believe we necessarily have a great address for her at this point. So we'd like a little more time to see if we can get the skip trace through to see if that is in fact a good address for her.
All right, we'll reset this for 60 days. Thank you.
Thank you. I have one more with you, so I'll just wait.
Okay, Mr. Nunez, who's next?
It'll be the same. We have the next two, Judge. Page 9, Judge, top of the page. Calling cause number 24 DCV 0715 Wells Fargo Bank NA versus Monica P. Perea. Announcements, please.
Carl Smart here on behalf of Wells Fargo.
And anyone on behalf of Monica Perea, have we had any contacts from her?
No.
Okay. Mr. Smart?
On this one, we have filed our summary judgment motion, but it has not yet been heard. So I don't see that it's actually officially been scheduled. So if we could get it scheduled, we can get her noticed on that.
All right, Ms. Myrna, the motion was filed in May. Let's get it set about 30 days out and get notice to Ms. Perea for that hearing, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anything else?
That's it, Your Honor. May be excused.
You may have a good day. Who's next?
Thank you, you too.
Judge, back to page 4. Please,
Mhm.
Judge. Be calling cause number 2024 DCV 0169 TD Bank USA NA versus Eric Gutierrez. Announcements, please.
Plaintiff's counsel's here, Eric Spence, on behalf of Roush Term and TD Bank.
All right, status conference. I'm not seeing a defendant. Mr. Spence?
We filed MDJ yesterday. I believe do you hear him by submission or do you hear him by hearing, Judge? I'm not sure.
I do them by hearing. If it was filed yesterday, what I would say is we'll get you a hearing about 30 days out, send out notice of the hearing. We'll come back in 30 days and see where we are.
Perfect. I have two more, but I'll wait.
30 days, motion for default. Okay. All right, who's next?
Page 5, Judge. Velocity. Calling cause number 2024 DCV 0162 Velocity Investments LLC et al. Versus Araceli Hidalgo. Announcements, please.
Eric Spence on behalf of Velocity Investments.
And this is set for default. The motion for default, however, was only filed on the 3rd. It's the same thing, Mr. Spence. I'm going to put it out about 30 days for notice. You know, we can put all of these on the same date, Myrna, so that he comes in one setting. And I'll continue the motion then. Okay.
I have one more that has the same issue, Judge.
When is that one?
That one is 2024 DCV 0596 American Express versus Cesar Sanchez.
Page 9, Judge.
Sorry.
So that will be the same thing.
Yes, we just 30 days. Great, Judge. I believe that's it, Judge. Maybe excused. Oh, yes, correct. Sorry. Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Who's next, Mr. Nanya? So that takes care of Amex, Wells Fargo, and Velocity. I'm sorry, not Wells Fargo, just Velocity. Who's next?
Page,
Go ahead.
page 5, Judge. Calling cause number 2024 PB 0332 Raul Avila versus PLS Check Cashers DBA PLS Check Cashers of Texas Inc. Announcements, please.
James Ramsey for plaintiff Raul Avila.
Felicia de Leon for defendant.
Council, we're here for a scheduling status conference. Are y'all ready for a trial date or what are we doing?
Yeah, Your Honor. We're well into discovery, so we can get a trial date.
July 19th, I think, is the date that I'm sticking with. I'm sorry, I say the 19th. I think it's the 18th. Is that right, Myrna?
18th, yes, ma'am.
July 18th.
That works for defendant, Judge.
Okay, so we'll
Works
get
for plaintiff.
an order circulated, return it with your agreed to mediator. If you need anything outside of those dates, let us know.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Can we be excused?
You may. Who's next?
Judge, I have no more attorneys. We still got 2 cases that we did not call, one on page 3 and one on page 9.
So let's go ahead and get off of YouTube